What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome back to another Injustice video. And Ed Boon, why do you have to bring back some old wounds, man? Why do you have to open up old wounds again? I know the tweet is innocent, right? But for us playing Injustice 2, wanting something else of this game, it just opens up some old wounds, man. And I'll get to that in a bit, but I'm gonna do something that I usually don't do just because I always forget and I'm bad at it, which is promote my social media and other stuff other than YouTube, because people always are surprised that I have a Twitch channel, Instagram channel, Twitch, or Twitter account, stuff like that. And also, I have a Discord server that I never promote because I'm a horrible person. But if you guys want to join my Discord, it's gonna be the very first link at the top of the description. I hope everyone is nice there. But my Instagram, all that good stuff, it's linked in the description as well. I'll probably put it in the first, I'll put it in as a pin, comments. Just if you guys want to go follow me on any of those accounts, make sure you guys do so. Also, we just crossed 400,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, and it feels real good. Injustice 2, I might make a separate video, but Injustice 2 was a really special game for my channel because it really helped that Injustice 2 is superheroes with minimal blood and is very advertiser friendly because I don't think we would have grown nearly as much if this game would have been, if the new game would have been like Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? So and plus, Injustice is amazing and it brought on a lot of opportunities. So I have a special place in my heart for Injustice 2. I might talk about it, but yeah, we just crossed 400,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. But now let's talk about the old wound that's been opened up again by Ed Boon. I'll put the tweet up on the screen right now. Speaking of fighter packs, I personally wish we could have released an Injustice 2 Fighter Pack 0 that featured returning Injustice 1 fighters with new moves and new gear. And his four were Shazam, Martian Manhunter, Batgirl, and Zod. That would have been fun. Mr. Boon, it definitely would have been fun to have 4 extra characters on the roster, even if they were returning characters, having brand new moves and having the ability to customize them via the gear system. You bet it would have been so much fun, especially if it would have happened after Fighter Pack 3, because once that happened, Ninja Turtles held us off for about 2 months because it's 4 characters. They each play, the same but very different from each other. So Ninja Turtles were the exception. Usually DLC characters are like really, really fun for a month and then they start decreasing. TMNT was like 2 months of solid fun and then they start decreasing a little bit. So having something extra after that to hold us over so we won't be so thought thirsty for a new Mortal Kombat game, any news whatsoever, it would have been really, really fun. So let me see his choices here. Shazam, Martian. Oh, before I do that, I just want to mention it's opening up old wounds because Ed Boon had talked about this way back when Injustice 2 first came out. And I had completely forgotten about a Fighter Pack 0, man, because he set out, I don't remember his tweet specifically, word for word, but I remember it being something like, fun fact, at some point we were considering doing a Fighter Pack 0 with 4 returning characters from Injustice 1, like Ares and Batgirl, and I don't know who else he mentioned, but it was something like that. So I had completely forgotten about that, so this brought back some, opened up that wound because, man, let me know in the comments. It would have been fun, right, to have 4 extra characters to play with. Even if they're returning characters, they would have had an updated look with these awesome Injustice graphics. They would have had brand new moves. It would have been like having brand new characters, because even though most characters are legacy characters from Injustice 1 that made it onto the main roster, I still have fun playing with Superman. I still have fun playing with Batman. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't take the fun away from the character if they're returning. So this would have been like super, super cool. But I kind of wanted to give my 4, the ones that I would have chosen. So let me know in the comment section which characters you guys would have chosen as the 4. in a hypothetical fighter pack 0 that will absolutely never happen. Yeah, we're not getting DLC characters, guys. Just want to make that clear. I make this video for fun, just because I want to talk about this and give you guys the characters that I would have wanted to see in this game. Damn, that guy just got fucked up in the corner by Joker. Okay, so let's start off with the first character here. I want to see who he mentioned again. Shazam, Martian Manhunter, Batgirl. Okay, so my number one character for sure would have been Batgirl. I think everyone who played Batgirl loved her. Everyone who did not play Batgirl absolutely despised her guts, because Batgirl was that one Mortal Kombat X character that had a crazy vortex in a game like Injustice 2. Not only that, but her damage was insane. She was safe. She had, teleports that could get through zoning, and it was a lot harder to get through zoning in Injustice 1 because you felt like you were walking in mud, and you had characters who had really, really good zoning, as do some characters in Injustice 2, but the fact that the movement was so much slower and sluggish and not optimized in the first Injustice game, Batgirl didn't have to worry about that because she had that nice juicy teleport that led into the vortex, into the 50-50s. And in the corner, she did 60% damage combos, so she was ridiculous. But like I said, she was fun for the people who played her. She was one of those characters that I fell in love with when I purchased Injustice 1 to sort of learn the Injustice mechanics back in early 2017, before the game came out. Before Injustice 2 came out, like months before Injustice 2 came out. Batgirl is the one character that I really gravitated towards, and it made me sad that she didn't end up being in Injustice 2. So I would have loved to see Batgirl, especially the way they would make her look now. Oh, she probably would have been really, really good looking in Injustice 2. Next up here, I would also throw in Martian Manhunter. I feel like Martian Manhunter had a lot of moves, a lot of cool looking moves, interesting moves. He also had his trait that made his arms stretchy, meaning that the properties of his moves change and the properties of his combos change, because now with stretchy limbs you could hit confirm something from mid-screen, and you could extend combos a lot easier than normally he wouldn't have access to. So for that period where his trait was activated, he was insanely good. And even when his trait was not activated, don't get me wrong, Martian Manhunter is top tier as hell in Injustice 1, from what I hear. So that trait made him like even better. But I just love Martian Manhunter. I love the way he looks. I love how insanely overpowered he is, because he's like he has so many abilities, and I don't know, I just love overpowered characters. So Martian Manhunter would definitely be up there for me for a returning character. Moving on now, my third pick would be Lobo. The fact that Injustice 2 has so many intro dialogue and so many characters, to just listen to Lobo have banter with every character in the Injustice roster, especially a character like Hellboy, oh my god, just that alone would be enough for me to want Lobo in the game. Let alone, he's just a badass, and I think they didn't do him justice in, no pun intended, in the first Injustice game. So I think they would make him a lot better. But then again, that's what we thought about the Joker, and look where he's at. He's pretty much bottom tier. So Lobo would be my number 3, and my final character is kind of a hard one because I want more big body characters in games. I love the huge brute characters like Zangief in Street Fighter. I really love Ferritor and how big he is, even though I didn't play him too much. I love how big Hellboy is, Gorilla Grodd, Atrocitus, even though I hate Atrocitus. I just like seeing a lot of screen being taken up by this awesome looking character. Broly's a perfect example from Dragon Ball FighterZ. He's by far the biggest character, and tell me he doesn't look fucking amazing. So my 2 giant body characters that I would want to return would be Lex Luthor in his giant mech, and Doomsday. It's a hard choice, man. It really is, because on one hand, I would love to see how they would make Doomsday look with the graphics of Injustice 2. I know he wouldn't have variety in gear, but I just want to see how Doomsday would look and how big that would make him. So that's one option. And then on the other hand, Lex Luthor, from what I understand, has a lot of setups. He's sort of like a setup character with a lot of range, obviously. I think he has an axe, right, if I'm not mistaken, but he's very setup heavy. So I would love to get my hands on a character like that, especially if he played something like Captain Cold plays, something like that, you know, where you get different cool variations of setups depending on what you do. So Lex Luthor and Doomsday. If I had to choose one though, it would be Doomsday. I like Doomsday more than Lex Luthor, so I would give Doomsday the edge. So just to reiterate my characters that I would choose, and let me know which characters you would choose for a hypothetical Fighter Pack 0 that would absolutely never happen. Leave your choices down below in the comment section. But for me, Batgirl would by far be my #1 character. Then it would be Lobo as my #2. Then Martian Manhunter #3, and the fourth and final one would definitely be Doomsday. So I think that's going to be it for today's video. I just wanted to talk about this giant wound in my heart that was opened up by our dearly beloved Lord and Savior Ed Boon. And I wanted to hear your opinion on what characters you would want to see in a hypothetical Fighter Pack 0 that will absolutely never happen and was left on the cutting room floor a long time ago. I'm wondering why they didn't want to do this. Like, was this going to take up one of the Fighter Packs that we did get? Because if that's the case, then I'm happy they went with the Fighter Pack that they went with, you know, 1, 2, and 3. But if this was going to be something extra, I just want, it's just like money left on the table, you know what I mean? Like, all of us would have bought this. Some people would probably not have bought the Fighter Pack 0 just because they would be like, you know, why am I going to pay money for characters that were in the first Injustice game? And that's totally understandable. But I think for the majority of us, we would have liked to see at least, they would have bought at least one character, you know what I mean? It's just money left on the table for them. But what's done is done. Nothing is going to happen anymore DLC content-wise for Injustice 2. This was just a little fun video talking about this, you know, Fighter Pack 0, and also saying thank you to you guys for helping me reach 400,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. I might make another video talking about just like the overall impact Injustice 2 had on my channel, which was absolutely huge. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys subscribed if you are not already. Also, check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.